Hello, 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 and more hello to you. Do you have a side hustle? Do you know what that is? A side hustle is a way of earning income, doing something you love or have an aptitude for. Generally, a side hustle supplements your main source of income and is done when you are off duty from your main job. Right? A side hustle can be something you have a special skill set in or a creative outlet that brings you joy. And some of those ideas we'll go through in just a moment. But welcome to today's episode of Mom Live, where we'll be talking about starting that side hustle, sis. Don't wait, right? I am Rasheeda Green. I am the founder and CEO of the Mompreneur HQ, here where we help moms start, grow, and scale their own home-based virtual businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. I am a business coach, a mom, entrepreneur, wife, and I have a lot going on at the home front. So I know just what you might be going through in your situation as a mom looking to start your own business. And for those of you who may be thinking, hey, not today, I'm here to tell you, start that side hustle, sis. All right. So if you are catching us here today live, go right ahead and hit a hashtag live in the comments. I'd love for you to know where you're viewing us from. If you're in New Jersey, North Carolina, Atlanta, what have you, shout your city out so that we know where you are. And now we're going to go right into our subject today. And again, this is Mompreneur HQ. We're all about moms starting businesses so that they can have the freedom that they desire to be able to do what it is that they want to do. And so we're talking about starting your side hustle today. And one of the ways that you can do that is by identifying your transferable talents, right? You might have a skill set based side hustle, and that could be things like copywriting if you love to write. If you love the design aspect of writing text that's going to attract people, a specific group of people to a particular business or brand. Creating killer websites. Sometimes we have these DIY websites out there, and they're very popular, and a lot of people can learn them and get the job done. But if you can create killer websites, that means you have a certain skill set that will allow you to not only just drag and drop things into place on the website, but to make them attractive so that people will stop scrolling, or people, when they come to the site, will stay on the site longer. That is a skill, and that can be a profitable side hustle. Coaching is a skill set based side hustle as well. So as for me, I am a business coach. Coaching is can be a matter of asking the right questions, leading a person to the decision, that an outcome that is that's going to best serve them in their situation. So there are a number of different types of coaches: life coaches, nutrition coaches, health coaches, and business coaches. I tend to call myself a mompreneur coach because of the intricacy of the coaching that I do. It's not just about entrepreneurship. And I met with a client earlier today, and she was just like, "Oh, you do that too?" And I was saying to her, "Oh, you do that too," because her skill set is so diverse. And then when I was talking with her, she brought up the fact that she didn't realize that that part of business coaching included marketing and marketing strategies. So yes, as a business coach, there is a plethora of things that I can cover. But as a mompreneur coach, I am able to address moms holistically. We're not just talking about how to start a business. We're talking about self-care, mindset, time management, productivity. These are things that are, yes, can be related to business alone, but we can also be specific to moms having to juggle so many balls in the air that these things become critical to the type of coaching that I provide. Another skill set based side hustle is virtual assistant. I like to work with virtual assistants, and actually, that's one of the upcoming programs that I have. It's for those who want to start their own business but don't want to spend a whole lot of money and have a skill set that can be useful to another business or business owner. Then a virtual assistant is a lucrative business side hustle to go into. And we'll talk about that more later on as we continue our live sessions. But virtual assistant is big. And as you can tell by the word virtual, everything is virtual now. It has been for over a year. And those who get into the virtual assistant business can really make some serious dollars as a virtual assistant. Of course, other skill sets are car repairman and carpentry. Those are very specific skills that you can do as a side hustle to help clients. So then there's the creative outlet side, right? And those are those who like sewing projects, interior design, staging, personal styling, handmade signs and T-shirts, typography, metalwork, craft beer and winemaking, but we're not craft beering and winemaking over at Mompreneur HQ personally, but if that's a skill set that you have and you want to start a business doing that, hey sis, start that side hustle. Thanks. Side hustles can have a wonderful effect on your bank account and your self-esteem. Bringing in extra money is always a good thing, and a side business may be a way to help you with your taxes. Because, as I like to talk about, there are a plethora of tax advantages for business owners. So if you have a home-based business, you are allotted up to 475 different tax deductions. 475. So if you do your math right, and if you get your team in place, and when I say team, I'm talking about your C-suite. So you want your tax, you want your lawyer, your CPA. These people are people that you're going to need in your business, not to start out. When we're talking side hustles, you may not have the funds available, so you may have to do a lot of DIY. But those people are key people, your team players to have in your business. But again, not to sidetrack myself, side hustles can rejuvenate the enthusiasm for work when you may feel burned out with your 9-to-5. Side hustles can demonstrate proof that there is need for what service or product you have to offer, and they can give purpose outside of your home and your family. A side hustle can teach you new skills that you hadn't anticipated. Taking your hobby or skill to another level requires a new understanding of business practices you may not have considered. This is a fun and interesting aspect of working a side hustle. So things like marketing. I am an entrepreneur. I have run businesses. I never thought about marketing or took marketing serious. And now, hindsight being 2020, I know why my businesses may not have taken off to the level that they could have because of my lack of marketing skill. Now, as I mentioned previously, marketing is a big deal, and I can help with marketing strategies at this level. But marketing was not my thing, and marketing maybe is still not my thing, but it's a necessary evil. It's something that we need to learn as business owners in order to get to a point where we're reaching the masses. Client acquisition. Again, if you've ever sold anything before, you kind of think about I used to sell light up lip gloss. So my light up lip glosses I would sell to a customer, and that would be it. But if I was really concentrating, or really focusing and targeting on client acquisition, I would not only think about client acquisition in the sense of find the client, make the sale, but also client retention. Find the client, make the sale, and keep them coming back, right? So those are skills that you learn as an entrepreneur, as well as sales. I've mentioned before that I did not like to do selling because I would ask one question and then that'd be done. If I asked you if you wanted to buy something, you said no, I would move on and that's it. But that I was serving myself a disadvantage by doing that. So learning sales is another key point of entrepreneurship that you want to learn, as well as creating products. We have products that we sell and products that we offer and services that we offer. But did you know you can create additional products from the one product you sell? Yes, you can. It's all about being creative. And if a side hustle sounds like just the thing you need to bring in extra income or get excited about sharing your gifts and talents, then explore what those talents are and see if a side hustle can be created from those gifts. Ask yourself these questions. Do you have a skill set that others perceive as valuable? Do you have an aptitude for an aspect of life that others could learn from? Do you have an exceptional gift that is marketable through today's social media platforms? Do you have a family tradition, a recipe, or artisan skill that can be profitable? Just think about the young lady, a young girl, a little girl, not even double digits, making lemonade and selling that lemonade, and now from the curb, and now is located in stores worldwide. Lemonade, a special recipe to something that could be very generic, but she came up with a special recipe that has become so popular. She's now in stores and is making money from just an idea, and then just a tradition, just a recipe, and now entrepreneurship at such a young age. So you can begin to thinking about your skills and your hobbies in a whole new way. And you may hit on something that is the perfect side hustle, which will bring you more income, more fun, and more ways to express your creativity. All right, so now we're going to move on to our second point of organizing your life to accommodate your side hustle. So you started your side hustle. Congratulations. Welcome to the chaos and the feelings of overwhelm and disorganization. Chances are you feel a bit out of your league, or at the very least, a bit caught up in the hurricane of balancing home life, possibly another job, and all the other expectations pulling on you from every direction. That's a lot of pressure, right? In the beginning, a side hustle may feel more like a burden than an outlet. But don't worry, things will get better. The sooner you find ways to organize your life, the easier the side hustle and other aspects of your life will feel. Taking on something new highlights the areas where we may have gotten lazy or avoided paying attention to important elements of life, from laundry and meal prep to getting your goods or services out there on time. Having life hacks in place will make things easier. I've got 2 pro tips to use to get your life organized and better accommodate your side hustle. Pro tip number 1, outsource and automate. Just the word outsource and automate, it may sound expensive in the beginning, but truly it can be as simple as getting, instead of you doing all dishes, getting your child to do dishes, right? So that is just the first tip for taking some of the weight off of you. Examine your on and off duty life. What tasks are required to meet the needs of your family and customers? Of these needs, what can be outsourced or automated to free up your time? Some common things that you can get rid of or take off your plate would be lawn maintenance, housekeeping. I need to outsource housekeeping. I don't think my husband will go for that, but I'll try. washing and maintaining vehicles, in-home organization, auto bill paying, auto purchase and delivery of home goods. I'm talking about Amazon, pantry services, your local Publix, Whole Foods, those food services that deliver, auto delivery of medication and pet medications. Some common work-related tasks that you can outsource. We're talking about packaging and mailing products. And in things like this, let me just sideline to those tax deductions we were talking about. As a home-based business, you are permitted to hire your child. Yes, your child, even if they're under the age of 16. You can hire your own child as an employee and receive a tax break because you have an employee. And what you can do is pay your child. That's part of them being employed. So if you're putting them on your records as an employee, but not paying your child, that child is not an employee and you can get in trouble. So we're not advocating that. We're saying you can hire your child to do some of the tasks in your business that need to get done and pay them a salary. Now, here is the fun part. You pay them a salary. And when they say, "Mommy, can I get new clothes?" those clothes come out of their paycheck. Not their paycheck. The money that they've actually received from your business goes into their account. And then they are able to then use their credit card, their debit card to withdraw funds or to use the debit credit card in order to make purchases. So you're basically or essentially paying your child to buy their own things. And with that, it ultimately means that that's one less expense that you are personally paying for, because the business is getting a deduction for having an employee, but mom is being able to is able to keep her money in her pocket because the little employee is buying their own things. And so you save money as a mom, and you get tax deductions as a business owner. I tell you, there's so much to learn in these IRS publications for businesses and home-based businesses that you should probably take a look at irs.gov and just search for yourself and find out these little tips of how to run a home-based business and get access to those tax deductions. So I have totally veered from the presentation in that respect, but it's good information and you should definitely check into it. Another task is, again, copywriting. Copywriting is so specific sometimes and so it can be labor intensive because you want to get the right words to say and you want it to be something that's going to be attention grabbing, scroll stopping. So doing that as a novice or or a side hustler can sometimes be overwhelming. So, and rather than deal with the overwhelm, then that's something that you can outsource. Pay someone to do your copywriting for you so that you know it's done right and you don't have to spend the hours on end trying to get it right, right? Another is customer service. You don't necessarily have to do your own customer service. You can look into services that provide that feature for you so that you don't have to stay on the phone dealing with client inquiries and FAQs that frequently asked questions that you already have on your website. So that could be something to look into. Website management, auto renewal of memberships. Again, these are things, if you auto renew your memberships and things and subscriptions and payments, that saves a lot of time and the stamps. Automated invoice management. So when people buy things from you, having it automated that the invoice goes out directly and that they pay you directly through the invoice, that saves a lot of time. We're talking about calendar. Calendly is one of the services that I use, but booking a calendar booking service, rather than having a conversation on the phone Oh, hey, so when would you like to meet? Well, I don't know. Tuesdays work for me. Well, actually, Wednesdays work better for me. Would Wednesday at 2 work for you? No, I have an appointment on that day. What about Thursday at 4? You see how this can be a cycle of conversation that just keeps going and going and going. But if you have an automated calendar schedule, a scheduler, automated scheduling program, it will allow your client or whoever's trying to get a meeting with you to be able to look at the available time frames, and then pick for themselves. Now, mind you, you set it up to what's available and what's not. So that way it's already in the system. You don't have to go back and forth. That's a good 15, 20-minute conversation that you don't have to worry about having. Why? Because it's automated. Don't be scared of automation. It really will help you. The key to making decisions about what to delegate and automate lies in determining how much doing an action costs you when you could be doing a money-making activity. If you can pay someone $20 to mow your lawn for 1 hour of time, and you can use that 1 hour of time to generate much more income, then outsourcing is the answer. Do you know how much an hour of your time is worth? Think about it. They're fighting over the minimum wage right now, right? But I remember when I started my first job at Nathan's, okay? I was doing, flipping burgers and hot dogs. I think it was like $6.75 maybe, or $6.25 was the starting pay. Think about that. Now, if your pay hourly rate is $6.25, and you have to pay somebody $20 to mow your lawn, you might as well mow the lawn yourself, because I'd rather spend my $6.25 hour mowing the lawn than to pay somebody $20 for that same hour. I'll be in a deficit, right? But we don't want to get in that mindset. We want to be able to see past $6.25, see past $17.50, see past $25, see past $100 per hour, see past $200 per hour of your time, right? We want to build side hustles that will become so profitable to us that a $20 per hour mowing of the lawn will not be something that we would want to do to save money or to save time, because our time is worth more than that, right? Next, pro tip number 2, delegate. Some things you may not want to outsource. Perhaps having someone outside of your home to do your laundry is a no-go. You don't want them smelling your drawers. Hey, understand. Consider delegating tasks. Depending on the ages of your children, you may have a labor force at hand. Having your family pitch in and participate in domestic work isn't a bad thing. Sharing responsibilities builds important character traits in children. And when we're starting a side hustle, when we're starting a business, we have to have the family on board. And I say that we have to have it. You don't have to have it. You don't want anybody blocking your goals and keeping you from success, right? So I don't want to say that you have to have it in that sense. If you have a goal, you have a dream, you have a business that you really want to build, then do it. Go ahead and start that side hustle, sis. That's what I'm saying. But what tends to happen if you don't have the support of your family, they can be a drag. They can say things that may be discouraging. And then if you don't have that support, you may be towing a whole lot more responsibility than you'd have to if you'd had support, making it more difficult to start your business or to run your business, because you have so many things to do and you don't have the support that you need to lift some of the weight and some of the burden off of you, right? So I'm not saying that you have to, in a sense. I would just say that it would be much more beneficial if you had the buy-in of your family, so that it is not burdensome to run your side hustle. So when I say take those tasks and give it to children, that's the laundry. You may have to wash the laundry because you don't want bleach in the dark clothes, right? But at least have the kids to be able to start doing things like taking their laundry basket and putting it into the laundry room and separating the clothes into the different color arrangements. Having even the little kids. And I had to learn this for myself. My children are 8 and 3, and having my daughter, my 8-year-old, clean the bathroom, it's not the cleanest. She misses spots all the time. But you know what? It's an 8-year-old's bathroom. It's clean to the extent that she used Lysol wipes. And there is not a bunch of toothpaste stains on the sink. Job done. You get paid for that. Thank you. See what I'm saying? You have to, some things you're going to have to accept as progress over perfection, right? Because at least it done versus perfection. At least it's done. At least they made progress towards getting it done. And then you just have to pick up the second leg, right? So those are some things. Then consider giving chores a price value and allowing your family to bid for the job. That makes it fun, right? Lay out your expectations and hire them to do the work. Teach fundamental skills by critiquing their work and requiring them to put a portion of their earnings into savings to teach tax principles. Delegating can be wonderful opportunity to free up time for your side hustle and teach important life skills. And some of those things that you can delegate, we're talking about meal prep, household chores, lawn maintenance, errands, car washing, pet management. Your side hustle is going to demand attention. And if your goal is to take things to a higher level, organization is key. So these 2 pro tips may seem obvious, but you might be surprised at how much you haven't been willing to let go of. And I myself, I told you guys, I hired a virtual assistant. I want to say at least 2 months ago, but I'm not a good employer or client, because they were just sitting there because I felt like I had to do everything myself. I have this Google Drive, and I'm doing this, and I'm making pictures of that, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing it. And I'm burning myself out with all these ideas with my multi-passionate self and not really moving the needle in certain areas. So that's something that you have to think about. Delegate, and you will begin to feel the pressure lift, and enthusiasm you have for your side hustle will increase, right? And just to wrap up quickly, I want to say about staying positive in the face of roadblocks. First off, rest easy. You are not the only one to be faced with challenges when starting a business. You are not the only one to feel like everything is just coming at you all at once. But there is a quote from Winston Churchill that says, "When you are going through hell, keep going." Keep going. In the rarest of cases, a side hustle is a bust. But in most cases, roadblocks are merely mindset issues. There is no roadblock that can't be overcome one way or another. Recognizing the collateral fallout that comes from roadblocks is important. And a roadblock isn't just literal. It comes with baggage. Things like fear of failure. We talked about fear of success last week, right? So fear of failure, fear of success, second guessing your ideas, depression, anxiety, insomnia, loss of stamina, overeating, undereating, sleeping too much, sleeping too little. These are roadblocks in themselves, and they compound and they distract you from simply fixing the problem. And the key to fixing any problem starts with your mindset, making a decision to persevere, find the solution, and manage your thoughts is the key to battling the roadblocks that hit your side hustle. Lastly, the topic was recognizing when it's time to level up your side hustle. Well, it's time to level up your side hustle when you are replacing most of your current income. Replacement of your direct income, either replacing you or your spouse's income, can be considered a trigger to take your side hustle to the next level. And then reduction of expenses. Sometimes the income generated from your side hustle minus expenses, you can reduce in your budget equal a savings. Consider what happens Consider what expenses you have that can be eliminated, and it may mean you have the green light to take your side hustle to the next level. If you're turning away customers or orders due to time constraints, that's the time to take it up a notch. When you feel it in your bones, some things aren't a science, they are an art. And knowing when to take the leap to the next level is often a gut feeling. You know your mindset, your market, your expenses, and your family's needs better than anyone. Outside of a limiting mindset, you know deep in your bones when the time is right. There comes a point in time with successful side hustles when things need to expand and grow in order to keep moving. Taking the risk to move from the security of your main income source to the exciting and nerve-wracking world of full-time entrepreneurship isn't for the faint of heart. Ask yourself the important questions and consider the best time to take things to the next level. Well, I'm so glad that you spent this time with me today as we talked about starting a side hustle. And let me remind you that I'm here to say, start your side hustle, sis. Now is the time. Now is the time. If you have any questions, you have any ideas that you would like to research and start investigating as to whether or not you want to pursue a side hustle now, then definitely reach out to me. Set up an appointment in my automated scheduler so that we can chat about your ideas and where we can go with this and see if we're a good fit to work together. I can be reached at www.themompreneurhq.com/clarity dash or hyphen call. It's a 20-minute conversation, nothing to be sold, but a 20-minute conversation about your ideas on how to start a side hustle and where you want to go with that, and seeing if we are a good fit to go forward. But that's about it. I'm so glad that you spent this time with me. I hope that you've received some value because I really want you to get started with that side hustle. That's one of my dreams. And I said before that I want to be able to help 100 moms start their own business. And so I want you to help me help you start your own business by reaching out to me and booking a call so that we can discuss that. Thank you so much for the time spent. And until next time.